Well, once again, didn't get out here very long. Guess I should have the GoPro set up in advance, but here I am, wet with the spray of a nice king salmon that is right about there. Got a buddy along who's kind of tall, so I give him my Passport 12, and I'm in the 10.5. It's been a while since I caught salmon out of this guy. A little smaller, just small enough that I know the 12.0 is definitely the better way to go, but let's see if we can get him in the boat. I'm gonna have to let him tire out a little bit. I think I'm gonna put the camera down here, have a little more faith in getting this thing. Hi guys, welcome back to Hobie Kayaking. Just wanted to mention a couple of things after fishing the other day, and so I gave my buddy the longer 12.0 Passport, and he's 6 foot something, and it just seemed like a good decision. And then I used the 10.5 for myself, which I've enjoyed this spring. I used it for fishing for trout, and I'm going to say a few things that I think make a lot of sense now that I reflected on it. One, the waves the other day were 1 to 3 foot, and while the 10.5 handles those waves just fine, the storage limitations of that kayak come into play. And I guess what I want to say here is, if you're going out for salmon, you know, maybe bring 2 rods at the most with the 10.5. Put lures on them that you know you're going to trust, and maybe a couple spare lures in your bucket that's in between your hatch in the middle, and that's it. With the 12.0, it's got these nice bungees on the gun rail. You can set aside some stuff, a water bottle, your tackle box, one of those skinny ones, and stuff is just there and organized. I've added the square hatch so I can get more stuff in there. I just really came to appreciate that, and so we're out there the other day and just got out past the harbor. 3 foot waves. All of a sudden I've got a rod going off, and I was a little outside my elements. Got the fish, netted the fish, but I was at a point where I knew if things got a little crazy, you know, I might get some of my gear washed away, or who knows, but just something to keep in mind. Yeah, the 12.0 for salmon seems like a good thing, and I promised you tips on this channel. So this is a Bandit. It's called the grapefruit, and that's worked real good for me. That's what I caught my latest fish on. My nephew caught this one on a Bandit as well. I think this one's called the Blue Shiner. And the other day I also caught one on the smaller size rattling J-plug. And with the J-plug, I used a 4-ounce clip-on weight about 20 feet ahead of that lure. With the Bandits, they just go down nice 10-20 feet. And the thing about the Bandits is they have 3 treble hooks on them. I think I would highly recommend taking out the middle hook, simply because it gets snagged up in the net and it takes longer. You know, you get 2 of the hooks out and the fish wiggles, there's waves, and you know, before you know it, you're back to 2 hooks snagged in the net. So just a few thoughts. The 10.5 sits a little lower Another thought that came to mind is, in order to net that fish, I felt like I was trying to use a spatula. I wasn't up and able to scoop down on the fish like I can with the 12.0. You sit a little higher in the 12.0 so you can get a little better angle at netting a big fish. Obviously the 10.5 doesn't have so much room for storage. I was able to lay the fish alongside me, but that was about it. At least in the 12.0 you could put them in behind you, put them in front of you. That extra length is just enough that you can get your cooler in those locations. So anyways, those resurrected some feelings that I had initially in 2020 fishing with the 10.5. It's a great little kayak, don't get me wrong, but you just want to approach fishing a little bit differently if that's what you're going out with. I'd highly recommend you just put lures on your rods, go out with the 10.5, and enjoy yourself. Maybe have a couple spare lures, but anything you bring with you, there's just not a lot of room for it, and it ends up getting in the way, and you're left wondering, you know, am I going to drop my tackle box? Am I going to drop my pliers? Am I going to lose my GoPro in this case? And so I was happy to just get back in the river and go from there once I was in the 10.5. Obviously when the conditions are real calm, that's not a problem, but this time of year it's not uncommon to have waves. So just some food for thought. Hope you enjoy these comments, and hope to see you on the water. Well, he's all of 30 something. All right, September 3rd. Once again, got out here in front of Manitowoc Harbor and threw out a couple lures. Didn't take long, and we got this 35-inch, more or less, salmon. Longer than my little 30-inch tape measure on the side of the boat. Sunny day. I've got a 6-foot-plus friend that came along, and so I gave him my Passport 12 to make it a little more comfortable for him. I forgot just how small the 10 is, and well, a 10.5. Long story short, you know, that's about all the room you have for putting a fish. Not a lot of room behind me. It's not too bad for brown trout, little, you know, 20-inch fish, but you start getting over 30 inches. The Passport 10.5 is a little too small, just my opinion. Anyway, it is a little after 6, and we'll give this some more time. I'd like to see my buddy get one. Again, this is Dan from Hobie Kayaking. Thanks for joining us.